Hi, my name's Kristen, and welcome to the Mandala, Montana Yoga channel. Today we are going to do breath of fire with asana. So long, slow, deep breathing is a place where we go to for our normal vinyasa classes, but oftentimes what I've learned in my own personal practice is being able to also access a breath of fire really helps empower certain poses that can oftentimes be a little bit difficult. So we're going to learn breath of fire today, and then we're going to bring it in with at least a boat, camel, and forward fold. So thinking about the navel space, right? And one way with breath of fire, we're going to do a couple ways to learn it, is to interlace your fingers, basket the hands, and bring those hands to the belly. Then roll the shoulders down the back and make sure the upper arms are just seated, right? You can kind of shake them out comfortably by the sides of your ribs. And then just center yourself for a moment. So beyond all chaos and whatever you've got going on in your house, close your eyes. Exhale all the way down to your gut or to your sits bones, right? Even feel the knees relax, almost feel like there's a melting. And then just begin to breathe for a moment. Inhale long and deep, exhale long and deep. Okay, and then just release that. Hands, palms face up or down on your inner knees. You can also place your hands one on top of the other with your thumb tips touching. And so, funny or not, right, we can learn a lot of stuff from animals. So breath of fire is exactly like a dog panting, except in and out through your nose. So you can always start to learn it, or at least get yourself to make sure it goes down to the gut by starting to pant like a dog. See what I did there? So I started through the mouth, but then once it was down to the gut space, I just closed my mouth and started doing it through my nose. So the biggest thing with breath of fire is if you end up, that's going to put you in your anxiety, that's going to perk up your heart rate, that's going to do all the things that you probably came to yoga to get rid of and not to increase. So the one thing with breath of fire is you struggle with it until you can get it to the gut, and then you're good to go, and it can really empower your poses. So once again, just from a seated place, you just relax your arms, your shoulders. Then you exhale, then inhale. So, and that's the thing too, you can increase the pace when you increase your confidence. So now, so you can feel it deep down in the gut, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So as we come into Sphinx pose, of course you're at home. You can take a little bit of time to get there. You can do a little chaturanga, whatever you need to do. And then you'll meet me totally down with your belly. Your feet about 6 inches apart or as wide as the mat. I like to move my hips around and actually have my feet about as wide as the mat. No reason to tuck the toes unless your feet need that. Try to be on the tops of your feet and then align your elbows underneath your shoulders. Bring your hands palms face down, spread them like the rays of the sun, and then for a moment, allow yourself to inhale and exhale, upper body cat and cow. And then once you feel centered or centered enough, look forward, eyes open or closed, chin parallel to the floor, crown parallel to the sky. Exhale all the air out of the lungs and belly, and then inhale, breath of fire. All right, let's go to child's pose. Roll over your knees, arms extended, healthy shoulders. If you need a rest, unburden yourself, or your shoulders are having some difficulty, bring your arms by your ankles. One more go. You can be humble, right? Because you're at home, maybe with yourself or a couple other people. So allow yourself to experiment with whether you need to stay slow, pick up a medium pace, or increase to a fast pace. So exhale all the breath out, and then once you're ready, inhale, breath of fire. And then just for our yoga students that are wondering, right, Kapalabhati, right, Bhastrika, bellows breath, breath of fire, what we're practicing, you hear the inhale and the exhale. Kapalabhati, you only hear the exhale. So the inhale and the exhale are heard in breath of fire, and they have the exact same intensity. All right, so allow yourself to come back to your kneeling place and seated on your heels. We'll go ahead and spread the knees apart, and then as we spread the knees apart, we'll lift up onto our knees. I'll do one round towards you and then one round to the side. So camel is often a difficult pose for a lot of people because it opens so much. Think about camel opening all the way from the knees to the head, and then especially the throat and the hips. This, we think that's what it is, right? This is primary, but these things are secondary, right? So everything is stretching. Hands to your lower back, pinkies in, thumbs out. Draw your hips forward. Either look up or look parallel to sky, or even drop your head back. Put your brain down to your navel center and exhale, and then breath of fire. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift, look forward. Exhale, lower down to your knees. Okay, so next one, and then we'll switch. And so now you'll see it from the side. That one's a little bit more front, breath of fire side, showing a little bit more of the back bend. Ustrasana camel. Hands to your lower back. If your wrists are really okay, then place your fingertips up, wrists down, hips forward. You can look down, look up, or drop the head back. Exhale fully, and then inhale, breath of fire. Inhale if you can, nice and deep, and then exhale, sit your hips and down to your heels. Pause for a moment. You can keep the knees where they are, or if it makes sense, then you walk them a little bit closer together. Close your eyes and just return to a longer breath. Good, coming for boat pose, and now realizing that breath of fire is very toning. So this breath can be done to get not only your belly in shape, but also your butt and your hips. So if you have any leg injuries, this is a really great way to keep yourself in shape when for some reason you can't walk. All right, so boat pose. Remember, you can keep your feet on the floor, right, if you need some support, or you can start to uplift your shins. I don't have a block with me today, but you can also keep a block inside your knees. So just for sake of everything, I'm gonna keep holding behind my knees. Once again, allow yourself to draw your brain to your belly and exhale. And then inhale, breath of fire. Good, so now from here, lower your feet down, walk your hips towards your heels, and then roll on down the spine, please. And as you're on the spine, walk the heels towards the glutes. And then just give the belly a little bit of a break. Hands, palms face down by your sides. As you inhale, rise your hips to bridge. As you exhale, lower the spine. If it's okay with you, you can move to the side and then bring yourself up to boat, or actually just grab behind your knees and see if you can lift and hold and stay. So draw the shoulders down the back. Try not to be like this in boat. Keep your heart lifted. Exhale, and then inhale to breath of fire. Inhale, fill your lungs, and then exhale, this time cross your legs. If you're not middle to 3/4 the back of your mat, go ahead and go there. And then just take a moment here. Notice through your neck space in your cross-legged seat, your heart space, your hip space. Okay, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So, really great at folding, legs out. If you need some give for your lower back, then please bring your feet as wide as your mat and maybe give your knees a little bit of a bend, a little bit of a give, okay? So I'm a forward fold junkie in a way, right? So I really like the place of the fold. I'm very comfortable there, so I don't really need any props here. You can also sit on a pillow or have, once I said again, something underneath your knees for support. So now from here, rise your arms up and then stretch. As you stretch, you can bring your hands to your outer feet, or you can peace finger around your big toes. Totally up to you. And then fold as best you can with your face down towards your knees. Exhale all the air out of the lungs, and then inhale, breath of fire. Inhale, rise up, and then this is a Dandasana or a staff pose in Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's really easy. Bring your hands behind you, point your toes, lift your heart, and it's like a supported fish pose. All right, our second round, flex the feet, fold forward, bow your head to your knees, exhale fully and completely out of your lungs, and then inhale, breath of fire. Inhale, rise up, and then now it's time for Shavasana. So as we roll ourselves on down to the mat, bend your knees in first. Keep the left sole of the foot on the floor. Draw your right knee in towards the armpit or towards the chest. Lift your nose up towards your knee. Lower it back down, and then extend your left leg out. Switch. Right foot to floor, knee bent, left knee in, pull it in, and then extend your right leg out. If the heel can't hit the floor with ease, then bend the knee back in. Letting the left leg go, bringing the feet as wide as your mat space, arms by your sides. Notice if you need to move on the head just a little bit, back and forth, and then exhale. If you need to keep breathing longer, slower, and deeper in Shavasana, great. If not, let any ties to the breath just go right now and allow yourself to rest. You can stay here longer if you need to. If you don't, start to make natural small movements of the body as you may even begin to breathe deeper. If you haven't let the breath come in yet, inhale, arms overhead, full body stretch, maybe even bring the legs together, feet, toes, point, arms up and overhead, and then draw your knees into your heart space. As you flatten the back and tuck your chin, allow yourself to either roll on up to the right side, left side for a landing, or you can cross your legs, hook your ankles, and roll up to your seat. All right, so that's the entrance into Breath of Fire, and that is all for today. Namaste.